Ahead on CBN NewsWatch, President Trump announces plans to increase defense spending. Hear why he says it's needed to fight Islamic terror.
They're married and wives see it, and we know putting them in the paper, social media, putting them in jail. I mean, those are things that people take serious.
See how police are finally targeting the men who are fueling sex trafficking instead of the victims. And are you packing on the pounds and you don't know why? Why your children may be to blame and what you can do about it. Thank you so much for joining us for CBN NewsWatch. I'm Ephraim Graham. President Donald Trump is addressing a joint session of Congress today. He'll need lawmakers to help him move his aggressive agenda forward. That includes a lofty goal of politicians typically just talking about it on the campaign trail. White House correspondent Jennifer Wishon has a preview.
Trump. For President Donald Trump, big rallies are the wind in his sails. At his first address to a joint session of Congress, he'll have a grand stage. But the crowd can be tough. Instead of his rough say-anything rhetoric, look for the president to strike a tone of unity and renewal. Senior White House officials say he wants the American people to know help is on the way and that he's at work addressing real problems facing real Americans. The president is already making his goals clear.
We're going to do more with less and make the government lean and accountable to the people. We can do so much more with the money we spend.
He'll focus his speech on creating economic opportunity through reducing regulations that weigh down businesses and lowering taxes on both companies and individuals. He'll also dedicate time to explaining how he'll enhance national security, a promise punctuated by the budget he'll soon release to Congress.
This budget will be a public safety and national security budget.
In a budget outline released ahead of his speech, Trump proposes boosting the U.S. defense budget by $54 billion. That's a 10% boost.
We must ensure that our courageous servicemen and women have the tools they need to deter war, and when called upon to fight in our name, only do one thing: win. We have to win. We have to start winning wars again.
The president's budget is merely a guide. Ultimately, all spending decisions are left up to Congress. But it shows Americans he's willing to back up his promises with dollars and cents.
We are taking his words and turning them into policies and dollars.
He'll have to convince Democrats to work with him, but Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says the Trump agenda is exactly the same as the Republican agenda.
I think for virtually all Republicans, the chance to actually do things that we felt would move the country in the right direction and have the president sign them into law is a pretty exciting prospect.
The president isn't expected to touch entitlements like Social Security and Medicare, which may eventually put him at odds with some GOP lawmakers. For the moment, investors are looking for details, assurances the president will make good on his promises that have led to the Trump bump on Wall Street. However, don't expect many details about tax relief right away, although the administration does hope to pass its tax reform package by August. Jennifer Wishon, CBN News, the White House.
President Trump may have announced he would reverse President Obama's controversial school bathroom order, but the battle continues at the state level. A federal judge has ruled 3 transgender students at a Pennsylvania high school can use the bathrooms that correspond to their preferred gender identities. But in Arkansas, the state Supreme Court has struck down an LGBT ordinance that would have allowed boys to use girls' bathrooms. Texas, Missouri, Florida, and Utah have also ruled against similar bathroom policies. President Trump's plan to increase defense spending by $54 billion comes as his administration faces a number of foreign policy challenges around the globe, from the Middle East to Asia. George Thomas explains.
In the Middle East, ISIS continues on its path of death and destruction. The president says defeating the group and keeping Americans safe at home and abroad is a top priority.
The Department of Defense presented its preliminary plan to the White House today to defeat ISIS. This plan has been delivered by Secretary Mattis, and who is currently briefing the principals on the option presented with today and seeking their input and feedback.
Over the weekend, a 1,300-foot giant sinkhole was discovered in the Iraqi desert, believed to be the site where ISIS shot, then dumped up to 4,000 bodies. Most of the victims killed execution style, with their hands bound and their eyes blindfolded. Also, ISIS is reportedly using puppies as suicide bombers. Video has emerged allegedly showing ISIS fighters strapping an explosive belt to this puppy and planning to remotely detonate the device. Fortunately, Iraqi forces were able to rescue the dog and defuse the bomb. Meanwhile, west of Iraq, Iran's influence continues to grow in the region. Almost 2 years after signing a deal to curb its nuclear ambitions, the Ayatollahs, flush with billions of dollars from the agreement, are still testing their missiles and exporting their terror tactics.
For too long, Iran has been funneling weapons and cash to their terrorist minions in places like Lebanon, Syria, and the Gaza Strip. They've gone to great lengths to develop nuclear weapons and ballistic missiles, and due to the disastrous end of the nuclear-related sanctions under Iran, they now have even more resources to devote to these efforts.
And there's also the nuclear threat from another rogue regime, North Korea. Experts like James Woosley, former director of the CIA, warn that it's perilous to underestimate the communist country's atomic arsenal. 2 weeks after the North conducted a ballistic missile test, Woosley believes the country's weapons are likely more advanced and dangerous. Secretary of Defense Jim Mattis recently warned North Korea that America's commitment to defending her allies in the region is ironclad.
Any attack on the United States or on our allies will be defeated, and any use of nuclear weapons would be met with a response that would be effective and overwhelming.
The U.S. faces potential threats from countries like China and Russia as well. These and other hotspots make for a chaotic, dangerous landscape around the world as Trump begins his presidency. George Thomas, CBN News.
More Islamic terrorism today in Egypt's volatile northern Sinai region. Islamic State militants have been targeting Christians. Now 2 men who were abducted by the group have been found dead. Christian families are fleeing the region. Women are being threatened if they don't wear the Islamic body covering, and ISIS has set up checkpoints on roads near the Gaza Strip, forcing travelers to recite from the Quran. ISIS recently released a video saying they will kill every infidel and that Christians are their favorite target. Last December, they bombed a church in Cairo, killing 30 people. Money is being raised to repair and restore the more than 100 headstones that were vandalized at a Jewish cemetery in Philadelphia. The vandalism was discovered Sunday by a man visiting grave sites of his relatives. The anti-Semitic vandalism came less than a week after a similar incident in Missouri. Philadelphia's mayor says authorities are doing everything possible to find those responsible. A Muslim crowdfunding effort to support that Missouri cemetery has raised more than $136,000. Organizers say they will use some of the money to help Philadelphia as well. Former NBA star Amar Stoudemire was honored in Jerusalem this week by the American Jewish community and the State of Israel. The Jewish National Fund and Jewish Community Relations Council of New York presented him with the Martin Luther King Jr. Award that honors those who promote peaceful coexistence. Off the court, Stoudemire is involved in helping at-risk children through art as well as basketball. Stoudemire retired from the New York Knicks after 14 seasons with the NBA last summer. Then he joined an Israeli team, which he also co-owns.
I wanted to play basketball here in Jerusalem. I always wanted to play here. It's been a quest for me to live abroad for me, my family and I. And the history here is grand. I mean, for anyone who believes in the Bible, it's something that I think the world gravitates to because it's just the hub of biblical studies. So that's what's special about it for me.
As you heard, Stoudemire and his family now live in Jerusalem. His team won the Israeli League Championship in 2015. Still ahead, fighting back against sex trafficking. How one Florida city is not just arresting sex fiends, they're shaming them, hoping to drive them out of business. Government officials are trying to find a different way to slow down the sex trade, going after the customers on the street and online, and then hitting them with stronger penalties. Heather Sells rode along with police in Sarasota, Florida, on one of these sting operations.
Posing as a woman for sale, this undercover cop attracted 2 buyers within minutes.
Black Nissan Altima is very interested. He's pulled over. She also has a white Benz interested. No competition. She's walking up to the black Altima. No tint, facing west.
Hey, what's going on? How are you?
How are you doing?
Good. What you doing?
And for the next couple of hours, a steady stream of customers hoping to trade money for sex kept these 2 undercover officers very busy and led police to a series of arrests.
You guys 1074 want to stop?
Sarasota is one of more than 1,000 cities taking these bold steps. They find that reverse stings, where cops target so-called Johns, are extremely effective. Kinsey Pentecost works with trafficking survivors here and sees how the reverse stings help.
It's been a complete turn in how they deal with demand. They used to let them go, let them be a little easy on them. Now, no way. They say this is not going to happen in our city.
Research shows that going after customers can reduce prostitution by as much as 75%. One strong deterrent is hitting their wallet. In Florida, authorities multiplied the $500 penalty for soliciting a prostitute times 10.
When the $5,000 fine came into effect, we saw a very large increase in actual trials.
Another effective strategy, sending these Johns to school. A one-day class emphasizes direct consequences, like STDs, as well as the suffering of trafficking victims.
If you see a survivor of prostitution or trafficking come in and explain that, why they were doing it and how they were forced into it, it humanizes them so they're not an object just for sex.
Like many communities, Sarasota doesn't stop with just fines and a class for those arrested. It impounds their cars. It publishes press releases with their pictures and even sends a letter home. Addressed to the car's owner, it states that someone in the car was interacting with a prostitute. Experts say men fear this social shaming far more than other penalties.
A lot of times they're married and wives see it, and we know putting them in the paper, social media, putting them in jail. I mean, those are things that people take serious.
Sweden first developed the concept of punishing the buyer while rehabilitating the victim instead of punishing her. Canada and France have adopted the model, and the U.S. is well on the way. Anti-trafficking leader Benjamin Nolo is a strong believer.
How you define prostitution will determine your laws regarding it, okay? So Sweden goes, no, this isn't about girls choosing this and making money the easy way. This is a system of violence and exploitation. They come up with the right formula for legislation. It eradicates sex trafficking in their nation.
The U.S. is learning more about those who buy sex. A joint effort between the National John Suppression Initiative and law enforcement has led to the arrest of more than 6,000 buyers in 6 years. More often than not, they're white, college-educated, married, and middle-aged. CBN News found out firsthand they can also be desperate to evade the law.
One of the buyers pulled into this hotel to meet an undercover female officer. But as police moved in on him in the parking lot, he took off.
All right over the curb.
We watched as the buyer fled down the street. Later, police found his abandoned car in a nearby neighborhood. No sign of the suspect anywhere. At times, police here feel their work is just a drop in the proverbial bucket, as the demand for sex goes on 24/7. But if research and results are any indication, these tactics are helping reduce the horror of human trafficking in significant ways. Reporting in Sarasota, Florida, Heather Sells, CBN News.
Still ahead, if you've got children, chances are you've also gained some weight. What the studies show and how you can gain control of your health is next. Young parents are often busy, sleep deprived, and stressed. It is the perfect storm for packing on the pounds. But as Lori Johnson shows us, there are ways those parents and anyone else can get back to a healthy weight.
Mom jeans, the dad bod. Proof that parenthood packs on the pounds.
So what we know with men right now is the first year of being a new dad, you gain 15 pounds. That's what's been shown. And then what we're also seeing with parents is that you gain an average of 3 to 5 pounds every single year.
It even happened to fitness expert Mark McDonald, who put on 35 pounds after becoming a dad. But he reversed course and is now sharing the secret to gaining control instead of gaining weight.
Making your health work as a busy person and a busy parent doesn't mean you have to sacrifice the time with your family.
He says the key is balancing your blood sugar to avoid overeating. Do this by eating in threes, a protein, fat, and carbohydrate every 3 hours.
When you go too long without eating, your blood sugar drops, and your body doesn't burn fat, it holds fat, it burns muscle, which slows down your metabolism. And then with low blood sugar, what happens? You crave carbohydrates. So you reach for the bread, you reach for the chips when you're starving. That spikes your blood sugar and makes you store fat.
I mean, if I spike my blood sugar, I feel awful. I have to lay down. I don't feel good. People are living like that every day, but they don't realize it.
Proteins are animal products like beef and eggs. They keep you feeling full. So do fats like oils and nuts. Carbs are vegetables, fruits, also grains and sweets. Mark says when eating in threes, try to eat carbs last.
Protein gets broken, it starts being digested in your stomach, carbs in your mouth. So when you eat your carbs first, it spikes your blood sugar faster. So you should always eat your protein first, then your fat, then your carbs. Now, if you're doing like Greek yogurt with some nuts and some blueberries, that would be a meal. Just do it together. But if you're gonna do like, hey, I want some Skittles, you could do some string cheese. You could do some Greek yogurt. You could do some turkey breast before that, and that will minimize the damage. And the cool thing is you won't want as much.
Try to pack your food at home and take it with you.
What I do now is, and my son loves it too, instead of making a turkey sandwich, we make turkey lettuce wraps.
Other grab-and-go faves, nitrate-free turkey jerky, protein bars, nuts, vegetables, and fruit.
If you don't pack your food, you can still eat in threes on the go at restaurants, even fast food. A good option is grilled chicken as your protein, lettuce as your carbohydrate, and salad dressing as your fat. Another option is grilled chicken, half a bun as your carbohydrate, and mayonnaise as your fat.
Eating Mexican? Not a problem.
I'll go there, I'll say, where's my protein? I get chicken, so I choose one protein, and then you have a choice of carbs. You can do a tortilla, you can do rice or beans. Don't do all three, choose one carbohydrate. And then I'll add some lettuce to that and a little bit of cheese as my fat.
Not getting enough sleep can cause weight gain by increasing the hunger-stimulating hormone ghrelin and lowering the appetite-suppressing hormone leptin. So try to get more Z's and improve your sleep quality by avoiding the snooze button.
Your body works in 90-minute cycles. So you have light sleep. Light sleep doesn't do anything for you. It prepares your body for sleep. Then deep sleep, which charges your body, and then REM sleep, which charges your mind. And then it repeats itself. Every second of sleep after the snooze button is light sleep. So you don't enter deep sleep, which charges your body, and you don't enter REM sleep, which charges your mind.
Swap 30 minutes of light sleep with quality sleep by instead of setting your alarm for 6:30 and hitting the snooze until 7, set your alarm for 7 and don't hit the snooze. Too many busy parents are dehydrated, which can lead to weight gain. Believe it or not, our brain sometimes tricks us into thinking we're hungry when we're actually thirsty. So how many ounces should we be drinking? Take your weight and divide it by 2. For example, if you weigh 120 pounds, drink 60 ounces of water a day.
The way that I know that I'm drinking enough water is if the urine is closer to clear than it is to yellow, you know you're hydrated. If your urine is really yellow, you're not drinking enough water.
When it comes to exercise, think of creative ways to do it together. Mark straps on this weighted vest to make family walks more challenging. Even time in front of the tube isn't so bad if you sit on these.
That inflatable ball, you're going to burn 3 times more calories per hour than if you were sitting in a chair.
Since stress can lead to weight gain, let go of those little annoyances parents face.
Now, when you have too many of those moments, your body can never relax. You move into something called chronic stress. So cortisol, your stress hormone, stays in your blood. It's almost impossible to lose weight and burn fat when you're in that moment.
So to shed the weight that often comes with having kids, Mark McDonald says eat in threes to stabilize your blood sugar and avoid overeating. Also, drink enough water. Try to sleep more and avoid the snooze button. Exercise together and minimize stress. Lori Johnson, CBN News.
Superbook clubs are reaching children with the gospel all over French Africa. CBN Afrique has 282 Superbook clubs in 11 countries, and more than 44,000 children have attended. Along with lessons and Bible verses, they learn songs, dances, and play games. The club helps children to work hard at school and help to pay for school fees and supplies for the poor. Instructors also visit and pray for children who are sick. More than 4,700 children have accepted Jesus Christ as their personal Savior. Time now for your Tuesday Tweetable, and today's message comes from a song I remember hearing so often as a kid. Consider this: God is about to do His greatest work in you. Yesterday is gone and it starts today. With that word, make this a terrific Tuesday. That will do it for this edition of CBN NewsWatch. Remember, you can find more of our exclusive coverage of the issues you care most about at cbnnews.com. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.